Source. This is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, standing steady, the state of the ceasefire deal between the U.S. and Iran after recent re-escalation in the war. And Spikes Under the Lights learn all about the big historic volleyball showcase involving Husker volleyball in Dallas, Texas. Plus, a Lifeline League, how a new foundation is bringing hope to families who are struggling to keep up with the demands of sports for their kids. But first, we begin with the weather making a sudden switch today. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Johnson. From a summer-like start of the week to now a gloomy Tuesday, it might have you wondering what the rest of the week has in store for us. Let's turn over to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins to find out. Rusty?
Early May is one of those, you never know what you're going to get until it happens. And case in point, it was very, very warm yesterday. Today, just a chilly gray kind of, but not cold, not warm by any stretch, but not really cold. But early Thursday morning, so not tomorrow morning, but the day after, freeze warnings and freeze watches are in place for parts of western and southwestern Nebraska into Colorado, and frost advisories just off to the north and east. Yeah, it's a... I don't want to say winter isn't done with us yet, but early spring isn't done with us yet. A line of light rain showers just from about Grand Island and North Platte over into the Panhandle. Light rain here in southwest Nebraska towards McCook, and some snow. In fact, Cheyenne, Wyoming, right there, a couple hours ago reported 6 inches of snow. Yeah, 6 inches of snow, half a foot. Meanwhile, we're just dealing with a little bit of a breeze and a lot of cloud cover and 58 degrees. It's a lot better than 6 inches of snow, but we would take the moisture, that's for sure. 40s and 50s for temperatures right now. When will we warm up? I'll have the full forecast in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Rusty. Let's take a live look now at a few Lincoln roads. This is a live look at 14th and Superior Streets in North Lincoln. Looks like there's kind of a long backup there as people are waiting for the stoplight, but looks like for the rest of the lanes, not anything keeping everybody. Oh, it's the roundabout. That's what it is. Everybody's waiting to get through the roundabout. Looks like there's maybe a little bit of a backup there. So if you're heading through that direction on your way home from work, you might get a little bit delayed. And new help is available for Nebraska small businesses and nonprofits that have been affected by recent droughts. The U.S. Small Business Administration announcing a new relief program offering low-interest loans. They can get up to $2 million at an interest rate of 4%. The agency says the money is meant to help businesses and nonprofits offset economic losses caused by droughts. Those who get the loans would have to start repaying them in 12 months. Breaking now, a frightening call at Calvert Elementary in Lincoln today, triggering urgent security measures. Lincoln police tell us a man with a San Francisco area code called the school around 2:15 this afternoon, making threats to the school and people in it. Authorities immediately placing the school in secure mode. Lincoln police eventually determining it was a swatting call, and they cleared the school and found no threats, so they lifted the secure mode and dismissed students as normal. Police are investigating. Also breaking, a deadly shooting in Dallas, Texas this afternoon. Authorities there say 2 people are dead and 3 others injured after a gunman opened fire at a busy shopping plaza known for hosting multiple Korean businesses. Police say of the 5 people shot, 2 victims were pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities say a 69-year-old suspect was arrested after a short chase. According to police, the suspect and victims were meeting to conduct business. Now to the war in Iran. The ceasefire agreement with the U.S. appears to be intact after enduring its biggest test yet. ABC's Christian Cordero explains.
Just one day after the most significant escalation the war in Iran has seen in weeks, today the Pentagon insists the ceasefire between the two countries is still intact.
Thus far, today is quieter.
The truce was tested through back-and-forth strikes yesterday. Iranian officials previously warned it would attack should the U.S. try to assert more control in the Strait of Hormuz. Soon after, the Pentagon announced 2 U.S. Navy warships crossed the strait into the Persian Gulf. The operation, dubbed Project Freedom, is meant to help guide commercial vessels through the strait safely. In doing so, the U.S. says it took out 6 Iranian small boats plus cruise missiles and drones that Pentagon officials say were threatening commercial shipping, which Iran denies.
We have a Navy that's unbelievable. You know, we set up a blockade, as you know very well. Not one ship. A couple tried, and they got their engine shut out.
So far, just 2 commercial ships have made it through the strait under U.S. protection, with several maritime insurance companies skeptical of the administration's promise.
We're not looking for a fight, but Iran also cannot be allowed to block innocent countries and their goods from an international waterway.
Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair Dan Kane says over the past several weeks, Iran has fired at commercial vessels 9 times, has seized 2 container ships, and has attacked U.S. forces more than 10 times as recently as yesterday. The UAE says Iran continues to launch projectiles at them, hitting a major oil refinery yesterday. But Kane says Iran's aggression does not cross the threshold to restart the war. And when pressed on where that line is drawn,
The threshold of restarting is a political decision above my pay grade.
today, the Speaker of Iran's parliament reiterated the regime's position that it is prepared for a long conflict, adding the U.S., in his words, finds the status quo is intolerable. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
New details now after a successful Lincoln Marathon on Sunday. Putting things together and getting the race going was a group effort, and the Nebraska National Guard is an essential part of the work. The Guardsmen sharing a snippet of their contributions today, from getting things set up before the marathon to actively participating, keeping it running safe and smoothly. They say
everything that you see out here was packed up by us, and then race day we kind of just police the area, and then once everybody's done we clean it up, and then Monday we got 1 day to put everything back away. So it's pretty strenuous. And
organizers say they're always needing volunteers and extra pairs of hands, and they're happy the 181 National Guard members helped out. They say it was critical. Now to a story only on 8. One duo is doing everything in their power to get Nebraska kids on the football field for free.
Good afternoon. I'm Emma Norwood. I just wrapped up speaking with 2 coaches of a new nonprofit. It's called 6716 Youth Sports Foundation. Now, the purpose of this foundation is to get kids off the streets and get them enrolled in a free football and sports program. Coming up tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock, a former Husker football player is leading the way in coaching these kids and mentoring them, and they're providing the free opportunity to kids to get them enrolled in sports and free equipment and free food, and just helping out parents that might not have the ability to put their kids into these programs. As kids of single parents growing up, they say that this really hits close to home, and they're really just trying to give back to their community.
New at 4:30, we have some fresh data showing the job market is rebounding across the U.S. The latest survey of job openings and labor turnover shows the U.S. businesses hired around 5.5 million workers in March, and job openings didn't shrink as much as expected. There were more than 6.5 million available jobs at the end of March, layoffs jumping higher for the second consecutive month, but despite that, they are near historically low levels. Coming up right after the break, the Huskers in the Super Bowl of volleyball. Sports director Nate Johnson breaks down when and where you can expect to see the Big Red team in action with a massive prize on the line. And we have many stories coming up that are new at 5 o'clock, including nurturing Nebraskans. Hear how a group of local volunteers is lending a helping hand to people in Oklahoma after devastating tornadoes. We'll be right back. The home of the Dallas Cowboys is now set to be the home of possibly the biggest volleyball event in the sport's history. If you thought the announcement of Nebraska volleyball playing at Wrigley Field was big, then it's time to think even bigger. AT&T Stadium, 4 college volleyball teams, one night, and $1 million on the line. Sports director Nate Johnson tells us what all of this is about. Nate?
Hey, thank you, Mackenzie. Yeah, Nebraska will be playing in the inaugural Spikes Under the Lights showcase at AT&T Stadium, a first-of-its-kind tournament in the world of college volleyball, which will feature a $1 million prize pool, the largest ever awarded in women's college sports. Nebraska will be one of 4 teams competing in this 3-hour exhibition event, which will air live at 7 p.m. on a major national network. Now, broadcast partner details will be announced in the coming weeks. The 100,000 capacity stadium will host not only the Huskers, but other powerhouse programs, including Penn State, Florida, and SMU. Now, all the games will take place in one night. Head coach Danny Busman Kelly said in a statement, "We are excited and honored to be a part of this historic event that showcases the continued growth of women's volleyball." Tickets will be available through the Husker Athletic Fund member presale beginning at 10 a.m. on Friday, May 8th, and continuing through noon when tickets will go on sale to the public. But what an opportunity for Nebraska to once again be on the forefront of volleyball in the country as the sport continues to grow in new and bigger ways. We'll see you back in the Sports Zone for a lot more. For now, the Mackenzie will send things back over to you.
I'm definitely going to have to watch all those games. Thank you so much, Nate. Well, after how warm it was yesterday, I kind of got a shock to the system stepping outside this morning. It was a little bit cold, Rusty.
It was, but you know, I was out with my wife and the dog, taking the dog for a walk, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was, I think the lack of wind really helped keep it feeling a little warmer than it actually was, but compared to yesterday, solid. Much solid colder day than yesterday was, that is for sure. And we're not going to warm up anytime soon, but there are warmer temperatures in the forecast. We'll look at that here in a second, but 60 degrees by 6 p.m. And if we get that, that'll likely be our high for the day. We'll eventually drop into the lower 40s by early tomorrow morning. Now, here's the good news. The wind isn't going to be an issue. So even though it is going to be on the chilly side, well below average, at least there isn't a lot of wind, and even the wind gusts, generally less than 10 miles an hour after sunset. So that makes it a little more tolerable. 48th and Cornhusker Highway, there's still a lot of orange cones out there. Everybody dodging those on our ABC Seamless Cam. Train running in the background, and just had a green light there. Still need the precipitation, that's for sure. We're only at about 4 inches of rainfall so far for the year. That's a good 2 1/4 inches below where we're supposed to be. Normal's at 6.41, so we need some rain. Temperature-wise, over the last 24 hours, look at this. We're way up there in the upper 70s, even some lower 80s out there, and then just kind of slid downhill all the way through this morning, and then just couldn't quite make it into the 60-degree mark. We still have a chance, but right now we've been in the 50s and upper 40s for quite a while. Forecast has those temperatures falling through the 50s into the 40s by early tomorrow morning. Clouds hanging on, but that wind, again, not an issue. I can't stress that enough, that it is going to be a tolerable wind. Light rain in southwest Nebraska, maybe a sprinkle or two along and south of Interstate 80. Look at this snowfall, though, right over there. 6 inches of snowfall already reported in Cheyenne at the National Weather Service. And that was a couple hours ago. It's still snowing, so they might be up to 8 or 9 inches by now. Light rain for parts of south central and southeast Nebraska. Light to maybe moderate rain in southwest Nebraska. As we head through tonight, that rain doesn't make it very far east. In fact, it goes south instead of east. Lots of cloud cover, and those temperatures hanging on to the 40s as we head through early tomorrow morning, dropping into the 30s, maybe even some 20s for the western portion of the state. But we do warm up eventually. We just have to get there first.
All right, thank you, Rusty. New at 4:30, the national average for gas hits $4.50 a gallon, the highest level since July of 2022. ABC's Rena Roy reports.
Gas prices soaring across the country. The national average per gallon is now $4.48, up $1.54 since the war with Iran began, an increase of more than 50%.
I am working to make ends meet and just survive.
Chicago area Uber driver Lisa McGee says she's now paying double what she paid just a month ago for gas.
I'm working a whole extra day to make up for the gas prices, and I am also working an extra 1 to 2 hours a day.
In Illinois, the average per gallon is 44 cents higher than the rest of the country. Some stations in Chicago selling regular gas for around $6 a gallon. The biggest jumps seen around the Great Lakes. In Michigan, prices rose 85 cents a gallon in 1 week. And experts warn it could get worse as we approach the busy summer travel season.
We could be seeing a national average rise to $4.55 to $4.75 by the time Memorial Day rolls around, if the strait continues to be closed. If the strait remains closed, into the month of June, I think by July 4, we'll be at all-time record highs.
And it's not just gas. Multiple states are setting all-time records for diesel prices, too. And airlines are struggling to keep up with the soaring cost of jet fuel. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Time now for a look at what's trending at KLKNTV.com. Here's Channel 8's Mark Fisher.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Mark Fisher, and we're back with another segment of what's trending on KLKNTV.com. First up, after a $90 million school bond failed to be approved in Waverly in 2024, district leaders altered their plans to revamp Waverly Public Schools with a $64 million plan. The school board met Monday night for a final meeting before the community votes. The plan includes expanding school cafeterias and weight rooms and bringing more technical programming to the district. A leading agenda item is to improve student safety through controlled access, a system creating barriers between a school's entrance and the rest of the building. Also getting clicks, the Lincoln Parks and Recreation Department on Monday announced that one of the city's disc golf courses ranked as one of the top courses in the world once again. According to UDisc, the Bealslow Disc Golf Course ranks 73rd in its World Best Disc Golf Courses Top 100. This is the third consecutive year the course landed in the top 100 and is the only Nebraska course on the list. The Bealslow, located at 60th Street and Pine Lake Road, is an 18-hole course that first opened in 2021. The par 62 course features 5 layouts for players of various skill levels. A practice area includes 2 standard baskets, a marksman basket, 2 warm-up nets with concrete pads, and a 500-foot driving range. You can read about these stories and much more on our website at klkntv.com, but for now, we'll be back right here tomorrow with more trending stories.
Well, coming up next, a new discovery in a deadly viral outbreak. Why world health officials believe they may be dealing with a human-to-human problem and what it means for your summer travel plans. And all new tonight at 5, Husker softball head coach Rhonda Revelle sits down with our Nate Johnson, hear what she's saying about the team's state of mind as they prepare for a Big Ten test on the road. We'll be right back. New at 4:30, the possible cause of a health scare on the high seas is coming into focus. The World Health Organization now says the hantavirus may have spread from human to human through very close contact between those who were infected. Mandy Gaither talks to an expert about whether this warrants travel worries this summer.
As Spanish health officials work to find the most appropriate port for the Oceanwide Expeditions cruise ship, the company that runs it says strict health and safety procedures are currently in place, including isolation measures, hygiene protocols, and medical monitoring.
So it causes very severe respiratory disease. It causes fever, muscle aches, edema.
Sabra Klein with the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health says spillover of these viruses to people is very rare. There's no vaccine or cure, but since breathing in aerosols from the feces of infected rodents is the primary way for humans to become infected, she says to limit exposure, especially in areas where hantaviruses are known to be.
If anybody sees rodent excrement and in their home or in a campsite, which is another place where this can occur, you should not use a broom to sweep it up. You should not use a vacuum. You should spray down the area with some type of, 10% bleach solution or 70% alcohol solution to dampen all of the materials so that it can be scooped up without creating aerosols.
Klein says another rare way to spread hantavirus is through direct contact with bodily fluids from an infected person. But she says it doesn't spread human to human in the way other viruses like influenza and COVID-19 do. Because of that, and since hantavirus infection is rare, she says worries over travel aren't warranted.
Cruises are very popular. No, people should not be concerned about safety.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, let's get our final check of the forecast at 4:30. Rusty, when are we going to be warming up again?
Oh, I have a feeling it's not going to be too long before you're asking me when we're going to cool back down because it's too hot. That's how this time of year usually goes. Summer's not too far away, trust me, but not for the next couple of days. This is early tomorrow morning. We'll be in the 40s in southeast Nebraska, but 30s and maybe even some 20s off to the west for everybody else early on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday afternoon, we'll try for 60 in southeast Nebraska. I think most of us, though, in the 50s, and again, a little colder, a little further west. Outside right now, bit of a breeze, not much of one, though. A lot of cloud cover. That's keeping our temperatures struggling. Now, precipitation-wise, most of the rainfall potential will remain to the west, and this is actually a pretty strong storm system, but that is going to dive to the south, staying away from most of central and eastern Nebraska. More details on that, though, coming up at 5, 6, and 10.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Rusty. And before we head off, let's get our final look at the streets here in the capital city. This is the live camera here at 14th Street and Pine Lake Road. Honestly, it's all looking pretty normal out there. Everyone moving along as they head home for work. But, it's about rush hour, so I'm sure things are going to be picking up here soon if you're heading home. That's going to do it for Channel 8 News at 4:30. Rod Fowler is coming up next, along with our team of reporters and citizen journalists. That'll be at the top of the hour in just a few minutes. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we bring a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join. from Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, post-tornado teamwork.
We want to make sure that we're really addressing the needs of the people that we come in contact with.
Nebraskans helping people in Oklahoma following their devastating tornadoes. How connections are leading to possible years of assistance. Also, football for all.
There are a lot of parents here in Lincoln that can afford to pay, but there are a lot of parents, too, that cannot afford to pay for their kids to come out and do something good for a change.
A nonprofit starts a free football league for kids. Why some coaches say it hits close to home for them. And spikes under the lights. A major announcement for Nebraska volleyball. Why some are saying this may be the biggest volleyball event of all time. Well, people are calling this the Super Bowl of volleyball, and the Huskers are part of it. If you thought the announcement of Nebraska volleyball playing at Wrigley Field was big, then it's time to think even bigger. AT&T Stadium, 4 college volleyball teams, one night, and $1 million on the line. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. The home of the Dallas Cowboys is now set to be the home of possibly the biggest volleyball event in the sports history. Let's go right over to Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson. A pretty big announcement, not just for Nebraska, right, Nate, but the sport of volleyball?
Absolutely right, Rod. You are spot on there. Nebraska will be playing in the inaugural Spikes Under the Lights showcase at AT&T Stadium, a first of its kind tournament in the world of college volleyball, which will feature, as Rod mentioned, a $1 million prize pool, the largest ever awarded in women's college sports. Nebraska will be one of 4 teams competing in this 3-hour exhibition event, which will air live at 7 p.m. on a major national network. Now, broadcast partner details will be announced in the coming weeks. The 100,000 person capacity stadium will host not only the Huskers, but other powerhouse programs, including Penn State, Florida, and SMU. All the games will take place in one night. Now, head coach Danny Busboom Kelly said in a statement, "We are excited and honored to be a part of this historic event that showcases the continued growth of women's volleyball." Tickets will be available through a Huskers Athletic Fund member presale beginning at 10 a.m. on Friday, May 8th, and continuing through noon when tickets will go on sale to the public. But what an opportunity for Nebraska to once again be on the forefront of volleyball in the country as the sport continues to grow in new and bigger ways, Rod.
Nate, you think about the stadium game here in Lincoln a few years back and now to the NFL, pretty remarkable. You also got to hear from the women's softball team today ahead of a big week for them.
Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling. Why don't we? With our women's sports here, Nebraska softball will be playing in the Big Ten tournament this week today. We got to hear from head coach Rhonda Revelle before the team departs for Maryland, a team that is playing so well, and their mentality is to stay focused on one pitch at a time.
So I think we've got a lot of good things going on offensively, and excited about that as well. And I think our defense has been real steady. We always say at this time of year, pitching and defense win championship. Now we're going to talk about today, how do we enjoy heading into postseason, manage it, the potential distractions, and also perform our best. So I think that's an important dialogue that we're going to have to start out with practice today.
We'll, of course, have more on the team all week as they go for a tournament title. Big day in sports. We'll see you back here in the Sports Zone. For more, for now, Rod will send things back over to you, partner.
Thank you so much, Nate. Breaking now, Calvert's Elementary School here in Lincoln receiving a threat to those inside the school just before 2:15 this afternoon. The main office there got a call from a San Francisco area code. A male voice making threats, which right now are unknown. Administrators placed the school in what they call secure lockdown. Lincoln police cleared the building and no threats were found. It has been ruled a swatting call by police. Also breaking now, the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooter, Cole Allen, is now indicted by a grand jury on 4 counts. Now, 3 of those counts had already been charged to him. The new 4th charge is assaulting a federal officer with a deadly weapon. We'll, of course, keep you posted as his prosecution continues. And in Texas, police say 2 people are dead and 3 others injured after a gunman opened fire at a busy shopping plaza there, known for hosting several Korean businesses. A 69-year-old suspect was arrested after a short chase. According to police, the suspect and victims were meeting to conduct business. Let's get a look at your first forecast now on this Tuesday night. Here's a live look from our Barry Law Tower cam right outside our station. Cloudy, and as Rusty told us yesterday, much cooler temps did roll in. Some areas today even seeing a little rain. Let's toss it over to Rusty for more. Rusty.
Yeah, it's a weird time of year where just about anything can happen, and it really depends on which side of the state you're on too. But some rainfall for western Nebraska, not so much for eastern Nebraska, a couple of sprinkles here and there. And then we look forward to the when's it going to warm up question after this, after we get past Thursday, when there's freeze and frost, freeze warnings and freeze watches in place. That's the dark blue and the purple color, and the light blue color there towards McCook. So that's for Thursday morning. Once we get past that, things will start to warm up. Your forecast for tonight, mainly cloudy skies, a little bit of light precipitation out there in some spots. We'll look at that here in a second. 58, 53, down to 50 by 11 p.m. Beatrice, your Shones Roofing Cam at 6th and Perkins, a lot of cloud cover and just a little bit of a breeze. There's those sprinkles I was talking about in and around the Beatrice area, especially a little further east, and then the heavier rainfall, if it's even close to being heavy, in southwest Nebraska. And there's some snow in the far southwestern corner of the Panhandle. Yeah, snow. Temperatures are in the 50s for most of us, 40s a little further west. The good news is the wind has been tolerable. It's out of the north and northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So we head through tonight. That rain unfortunately stays to the south and west and moves south, leaving most of us dry tonight with a lot of cloud cover, a small chance for some light precipitation as we head through the first half of the day tomorrow. We'll talk more about the rainfall potential and when we'll warm up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. Right now, Nebraskans are hard at work in Oklahoma after destructive tornadoes there. They're turning hurt into healing as volunteers help people rebuild not only their homes, but their emotions. And for some, helping out, this is personal. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson joins us after hearing from the team today. Mackenzie.
Rod, this violent twister leaving behind a big path of destruction. Take a look at just some of the scenes the volunteers with the rapid response team is dealing with down in Oklahoma. While they might be rolling up their sleeves and getting their hands dirty, they say that's not always the most important part of their work.
The impact you can have on people's lives, it's just tremendous because you see a transformation of people right in front of you.
More than a dozen volunteers didn't think twice when they heard about a devastating tornado outbreak in Oklahoma. They just packed up their supplies and hit the road. The Omaha Rapid Response Team is made up of people from both Lincoln and Omaha, and even people outside of Nebraska. They've been in Oklahoma for about a week now, helping local families who are dealing with disaster.
It is the worst day in these people's lives.
We pick up debris. We help them kind of go through some of their things and try to retrieve whatever they want to keep. The guys are helping with big equipment.
For some of the volunteers, this is a mission that hits close to home. They themselves were impacted by the Arbor Day tornado outbreak here in Nebraska 2 years ago, which tore through the Lincoln and Omaha areas, ripping apart hundreds of homes in Elkhorn. The team leader, Ken Gruber, says this is healing for them and the people they're helping.
We want to not only address their physical needs, but their mental, emotional, and spiritual needs if needed. You're just sitting there listening to a story for 30 minutes or 60 minutes or 2 hours. You're actually doing the most important work.
Gruber says it means everything to their team to put a smile on people's faces as they navigate through the aftermath of the tornado.
We look at them all as divine appointments. You know, we want to build relationship. We continue to follow up for weeks and months and even years. You don't go there to be blessed, but you're already blessed by being able to help these people out.
The team will be heading back to Nebraska tomorrow morning, but they say the work is far from over, and they plan on going back to Oklahoma if needed. Gruber tells me they're always looking for more volunteers. If you want to get involved, we have a link to their website in this article on our website, klkntv.com. Reporting in the studio, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
All right. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. With many moving pieces in the war in Iran, gas prices continue to go up. AAA today saying the average price of gas in the U.S. is now $4.48 a gallon. It was $4.11 a week ago. Here in Nebraska, the average is $3.98, getting close to that $4 mark. Oil prices actually dropped a little today from Monday's surge as the U.S.-Iran truce appeared to hold. Brent crude was down 3% to around $110 a barrel. Meanwhile, a great day on Wall Street. Look at this. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ both hitting fresh record highs at closing. both up around 1%. The Dow, not too shabby, also up 356 points. Stay with us. We have more ready for you after the break and a fresh slate of stories in our 6 o'clock show, including a semester's reflection. UNL's interim chancellor, Catherine Ankerson, reflects on her first semester in her position, what she says was the key to creating a positive learning environment on campus. And coming up after the break on this newscast, a priceless pass, only on 8. See and hear how a nonprofit is changing the lives of local families with a free youth football league. Stay with us. Only on 8 tonight, 2 coaches are stepping up for kids in need. At a time when families are playing defense with the economy.
Pretty much we started this organization so we can help the youth and help the kids and make it affordable.
An opportunity to play both sides of the ball for free.
Everybody's welcome, no matter the race, color, gender.
Tonight, how coaching on the field is impacting kids off the field.
It's not just sports, not just football. It's about just being an overall great person, you know, and building character. So.
A former Husker football player is teaming up with a Lincoln father to give kids the chance to play football at no cost for them. It's an opportunity to give back and help shape the next generation. Channel 8's Emma Norwood joins us after speaking with the 2 coaches. Emma.
Hey, good evening, Rod. Richard Harris and Erwin Sweeney are giving their hearts to kids and families across Lincoln by running drills, mentoring, and starting a nonprofit sports foundation. It's a way to give a helping hand to those kids whose parents might not be able to afford organized sports. The 6716 Youth Sports Foundation is creating an easier path for kids who need a little extra help. Richard Hare is partnering with former Husker football player Erwin Sweeney, who played for Nebraska in the 1990s before going on to play for the Green Bay Packers. Thanks to these two men, families will no longer have to worry about the cost of playing football or affording equipment.
Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of parents here in Lincoln that can afford to pay, but there are a lot of parents too that cannot afford to pay for their kids to come out and do something good for a change.
Harris and Sweeney say they noticed a need for more affordable sports leagues, which is what sparked the idea. Now they're working to give kids between the ages of 7 and 14 a chance to play, and it goes far beyond just running drills.
Looking to help this be a stepping stone for the kid in the next level, not just in football. Like I say, we both agree that football is a stepping stone. So if you can utilize this, if it can help you get into college, great. If it can help you to become a better person, so be it too as well. So this is what this program is all about. It's not just sports, it's not just football. It's about just being an overall great person.
Through the help of sponsors and donations, they're able to ditch the price tags and give anything a kid needs to play football. And for both coaches, this mission hits close to home.
I grew up in a single parent household. So my mom, a lot of time, you know, like I used to see kids like outside playing with bicycles or just playing sports and stuff. And I used to want a bike like that. And I couldn't afford that. So that's something where me and him came together on, and we was like, hey, you know, it's a bunch of kids out here like that.
The Football League has tryouts and practice every week. There's a link to the foundation in this article on our website, KOKNTV.com. Reporting here in the studio, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
All right, what a great program. Thank you, Emma. New tonight, different counties in Nebraska are sending out reminders as the primary election is drawing ever so closer. We're just 1 week away from the primaries now, and York County is showing people where they can vote on Election Day, May 12th. You can see those locations on your screen. The Lancaster County Election Commissioner is also sharing secure drop box locations for voters. Keep in mind, polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And Channel 8 is your election headquarters for primary night in Nebraska. Our team of reporters will be tracking the results in real time, updating the Now Local News app so you can follow along from home.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
I always love election nights too, because it's like, for news, it's like a severe weather night for the weather guys, because it's intense. Everything's happening so fast, and the weather people are just in the back going, see, that's what it's like. No severe weather today. We did see a little bit of light precipitation. Most of these, if not all, under 1/4 of an inch. Scottsbluff is the exception, but everybody else, we tried to get some rain out there. We got almost 1/4 of an inch in Beatrice. I think we did just on the other side of the border here. 12/100ths in Hebron, and everybody else was, you know, barely anything. So 61 degrees for a high, though, just 10 degrees below average. Look at that record high, 97. The most amount of rain we've seen on this date was in 2007, when over 3 inches of rain fell in one day. So that was quite the day back then, but not today. We've got plenty of cloud cover. The sun trying to peek through our Barry Lockham. Just a mixture of clouds and sun, and more clouds than sun, but it's trying to warm us up. We're at 57 in Lincoln and Beatrice, 56 in Columbus, and it's not a bad day. If you've been out, it's not cold. I mean, it's not warm, but without the wind, it does certainly help. But look at this cold air down here. A lot of snow falling in this area because temperatures are right around that freezing mark, and it's a heavy, wet snow. I saw a report from Cheyenne, National Weather Service out there in southeastern Wyoming. They had 6 inches of snow a few hours ago, and it was still snowing heavily. They're likely closer to a foot by now, that's for sure. Temperatures around here, though, 60 in Wahoo, but everybody else between 50 and 60 degrees. We're at 57 in Lincoln, 57 in Beatrice, 50 in Kearney. Again, the wind has been behaving itself. It's out of the north and west at 7 to 12 to up to 20 miles per hour, but most of us doing okay. It's a single-digit wind speed, so that'll do. The very light 1 or 2 raindrops here and there, a little bit, maybe a little more between North Platte and Garden County, and then southwest Nebraska, Chase and Dundee County likely seeing some moderate rainfall going on just west of McCook. But that's where it's going to stay. Here's Stormcast. Notice a sprinkle or two possible here in south central and southeast Nebraska. but the heavier rainfall stays to the south. And I will point out that there is still that snowfall potential in the Panhandle into the upper elevations of Colorado into the Front Range. So they could see one of the heaviest snowfalls of the season, and it's early May. Not crazy abnormal, but weird. Mostly cloudy skies as we head through Wednesday afternoon, and maybe some sunshine peeking through as we head through the second half of the day on Wednesday into Wednesday night with some clearing skies. So mostly cloudy tonight, a spot shower every now and then. Temperatures dropping to around 40 by early tomorrow morning. Upper 30s, lower 40s. A north breeze at 5, 10, maybe 15 miles per hour. Another chilly day, but again, the wind behaves itself out of the north at 5 to 15, mostly cloudy and 58 degrees. Near 50 in Kearney, closer to 60 the further east you go, very similar to what we had today. Then, after a chilly start to the day on Thursday, we warm back up to 74, and look at that, 80 by Saturday. A storm chance on Saturday, but Mother's Day looking really nice. And then we start to warm way up, middle and upper 80s as we head towards Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week.
Thank you, Rusty. New tonight, the University of Nebraska Foundation unveiling methane-powered tractors. These new tractors beside me run on compressed natural gas. It's a big step forward in moving towards more conservation by using renewable energy. These tractors won't be putting out a lot of soot. They won't be putting out a lot of carbon monoxide. These New Holland tractors were donated to UNL's Institute of Agriculture. They're the world's first 100% methane-powered tractors. Students will then use them for ag research and education opportunities.
Every tractor that gets tested there, we're using that as part of our undergraduate experience as we have students working in the lab. So this is just another platform we hope we can use for that. What's the power generation look like, and how does it perform?
There's no current timeline on making these tractors available to the public. Right now, each tractor runs for around $287,000 apiece. The university is getting 2 of them. Stay with us. We have more headed your way after the break, and a new batch of stories coming up at 6 o'clock, including On the Right Track. Improvements are coming to the beloved Stoley Park Railroad in Grand Island. How long it will be closed for its major renovation. Stay with us. 5, it's National Travel and Tourism Week. Did you know that? We asked you on our Now Local News app what you think people from across the world would want to travel to Lincoln for. Citizen journalist Melanie is saying Holmes Lake, and citizen journalist Brian is saying the Capitol building. If you want to see what other places people are showing for the question, you can scan the QR code on your screen to download the Now Local News app. You know, I thought about this, you know, if you take away Memorial Stadium, sporting stuff like that, how about some of our trails? If you're a bike enthusiast or like to walk or jog, some of our trails are ranked as some of the best in the nation. So maybe that, Rusty?
Disc golf, wasn't that ranked in the...
Yes, it was.
The top 15 or top 16 in the world?
Exactly. So come to Lincoln.
Yeah, why not? And stop by Channel 8 and say hi, too, while you're here.
There you go. How's the weather look?
A little bit of light rain. The better chance for the precipitation to actually get to the ground is in southwest Nebraska right now. But a sprinkle or two between Grand Island and Lincoln and Beatrice, especially in far southeastern Nebraska. Again, it's just not much. We need a lot more, that's for sure. Temperatures struggling today, 40s and 50s as of 5:26 p.m. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off in the 30s and 40s. We'll have another day similar to today tomorrow, and then we start to warm up back into the 70s on Thursday.
Thank you, Rusty, and thank you so much for joining us. World News is coming up next, and we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we bring a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.